Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this. My question is this: how do I get post-processing scripts to be applied to a sliced STL that I can then use on my 3D printer? As background, I have a Creality Ender S1, not the Pro, and I'm using the Creality Slicer version 4.8 right up here. The Creality Slicer is a version of Cura, so I'm thinking the settings should apply if you have familiarity with other versions of Cura. Here's what I've done. I've gone to the marketplace in the Creality Slicer. It might be named something different on other software. And I've installed a plugin called Calibration Shapes. This allows you to add different STL models that can be used to calibrate your 3D printer. So that's already installed, and that's what I'm using for my scripts and my shapes. Let me show you an example. So once you have the plugin installed, if you come up to extensions and then go down to part for calibration, there are a number of different tests. I've tried the retract tower and the PLA temp tower. Both of those models with the scripts that I'm going to show you don't seem to be operating as they should. So I'm going to go ahead and add this PLA temp tower because it's the easiest one to explain. And if you look right here, let me zoom in. This model is a way to test the best temperature settings for your nozzle. It starts out at 220 and goes all the way up to 180. At each step in this ladder, there's a change in temperature. To add that change of temperature, you have to apply a post-processing script so that everything isn't printed at the default printer settings. Just so you know, I'm also using standard quality, and underneath experimental, I am going to turn on adaptive layers. I can't recall where I read that you needed to do this, but I think you have to, so that you can apply different settings in your STL sliced model. So this is all set, and then I need to add the script. So I go up to extensions, post-processing, and modify G-code. Because I installed the plugin, let me take that one off. When I choose to add a script, I can choose from any of these different options. The one that I'm going to choose is should be a temp tower. Retract tower. Did I miss it? Maybe it's temp fan tower. Yeah. So I've got this script, and what it's saying is it's going to start at 220 degrees Celsius, which is the bottom layer, and then it's going to change or drop 5 degrees Celsius every 50-second layer. And roughly each one of these layers is 52 layers high. So I hit close, and I don't see any way to attach anything, but it says the script is active. And then I hit slice. Now, obviously it's sliced. When I hit preview, it's hard to tell. I mean, I can't really tell when different settings are applied right here. When I've saved this to my SD card loaded it on my 3D printer, the 3D printer display, which shows me temperature, stays at 200 degrees Celsius throughout the entire print. I don't see any changes in temperature, and the model, each one of these little levels, looks like it was printed at the same settings. So my question is, how do I actually get that script to work? I've looked at the G code. It's a giant mess, but I just can't figure it out. And I think there's something that I'm doing or not doing that I should be doing. So if you have any answers, that would be helpful. Thanks so much. Bye.